Oh God, Wendi. It's synced. We're here. Shout out to Deep Dive True Crime. Let's watch a little bit of Wendi Adelson's interrogation. And after this, we never hear from Wendi Adelson ever again. Like, she never speaks to the police. She's never interrogated again. She only speaks to the police, to the lawyer. So we are collecting a lot of information from this, okay? A lot of information. Hi, Christine. How are you doing today?
That's it. I swear I'm just blowing my nose.
You're all right.
Sarah, your job is very hard.
It is.
You have a very nice personality for it. Very calming.
Thank you for saying that. That's kind of how I sell myself sometimes on doing this.
It's really hard.
See, I feel like there's like two ways to look at it, right? It could be that she's just a really nice, complimenting person, or she's trying really hard to be likable right now in this very stressful situation.
Do you know Gwen?
Gwen Williams?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. To be honest with you, I think you did a presentation at a Red Cross human trafficking.
Sure I did.
Yeah. Okay. Because
At Salvation Army?
Yes.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that was me.
Moving forward through
I
this a little
thought
bit.
so. Because
Oh,
when
I
they were
can't
kind of
forward
telling
through
me, you know, who I was going to be talking with, I was like, that sounds familiar.
So they had the boys there that morning, and that's why I like talked to them.
And I remember you talking about your boys actually too.
Well, it's good to see you again.
Sorry, under these circumstances.
I feel like I'm in the middle of a nightmare.
Manipulators often do
This
that.
isn't something that anyone plans on going through or wants to go through.
We were
So it is.
divorced. It wasn't good, but like, this is never something
Hey, go
you
lucky.
would ever want to happen. I understand why I'm a suspect. I guess I'm not a suspect. I understand why you would think that I would do this, but
She said this like 4
not
times
you,
already.
but,
Right.
I'm just worried about the kids, and I'm so sorry for his family and for his children who are now going to grow up without a father. And I have no idea who would do this, and I feel like they're out there. And if they're capable of this, like, what's to keep them from going after the kids? Like, if they hate Danny, then why wouldn't they hate his children?
And you know, they're doing this investigation now to kind of figure out what happened.
He didn't do it to himself. There's no way he did it. He never really got depressed. He never got that sad. Like, he was a really positive guy. It wasn't him.
And you know, just because you guys are divorced, you probably know him very well, probably better.
I mean, I don't think law enforcement even entertained that it could have been him doing it to himself. But she keeps saying that. It's as if she's like saying, oh, he wouldn't do this to himself. He wouldn't do this to himself. Maybe she's trying to like also in a way put that into their minds. Like, oh, let's entertain that, you know? I don't know. Like, I don't know, Wendi. I feel like she's saying way too much.
Did anyone else stuff? So,
Except
Way
for the last
too
2
much.
years. Like, I don't know specifics of, like...
well, right, his personal life, but you still know his personality.
I do.
And, you know, personalities usually don't change very often, so...
Yeah. I'm gonna have a hard time not being sad in front of the boys. I need to tell them today, don't I?
I think you do.
Have you done this before? Doesn't
Have
matter
I
if you've
told,
done this before.
have I told Shlomo?
It's like, I'm going to have a hard time being sad in front of these boys, or not being sad in front of these boys, because I'm going to be so excited and I'm sorry.
You know, I have not as young as your boys.
What do I tell them?
You know where your boys are at. You know kind of what you've talked to your boys, you know, and I know they're so young, you know, some parents have conversations about life and death and things like that, and some haven't at that age.
We had our first conversation about God.
Okay.
You can write a book about it.
Ever. And Ben was climbing into his car seat, and Ben out of nowhere says, Mommy, I bet Abba knows a lot more about God than you do. And I said, well, different people have different beliefs about God. And so we get to the car, and Ben was like, is God a man or a woman? I said, well, some people believe that he or she is an old white man with a long white beard.
Because it seems like to me, like she's in a very uncomfortable situation. And in order to relieve that uncomfortableness is by being all giddy and like, you know, kind of like laughing and like having these conversation with another woman that's there. Oh man, I think she's just trying to find ways to relieve like the stress and the tension and all that stuff.
And the kid, who's 3.5, said, God is dead.
And it's Ben's your oldest then, and then who's your 3.5-year-old?
Lincoln.
Lincoln.
I said, Lincoln, like, I was like, it's like Nietzsche in the backseat. Like, it's like Lincoln who's still in diapers, but is having a sophisticated conversation about God. And I just was laughing and laughing, and they were asking such interesting questions, and I was answering them with, like, different people think different things. And, you know, but it was just our first time we ever had a conversation. Really, they talk about superheroes a lot, and so sometimes they'll joke, they'll fall over and be like, I'm dead, and I say, I really don't like it when you say that. And, you know, they've talked about, like, animals being like, he was dead, like, on the ground. And they even quasi understand Lincoln's named after my grandmother, and whose initials are LJ, so his initials are LJ.
I think this be able a little more.
He would say to my mom, who's still very heartbroken over the loss of her mother, he'd say to her mom, like, is your mommy dead? And she'd say, yes, you know, you're named after him. And he'd say something like, well, is she in heaven then? You know, like, so they have some fleeting concept of things like God,
I know heaven.
I mean, I don't know.
And let me just kind of back. I'm not sure what Investigator Isom kind of told you. You know that he's still alive.
No, I didn't know that.
He's
That's true. Wendy, he's not dead yet. The investigator said that, you know, he's probably not going to make it, but Wendy's already writing him off as dead. Dead. And she's like, I mean, I don't know what the investigator told you, but he's like kind of like, he's not dead yet.
Is he possibly going to make it?
I don't know the answer to that. I know.
He made it sound like he was gone. So does that mean that he might be okay? You don't
I
know?
don't think,
When he's like, oh shit.
from what it sounds like, I don't think he'll be
The same. Okay, but he might make it.
I don't want to give you that false hope.
I'm sorry. I just thought he was gone, and now I don't know what to tell. It's sort of a game changer.
I know, and that's why I was kind of asking you.
I didn't know that. He made it sound like he was gone.
I don't think it's good though.
I know that's sort of what he said, but I assumed he was saying that like euphemistically.
And that's
That's
why I'm kind of at, because I don't want to be misleading in this
Is there any way to
conversation.
find out if like, because if he might be okay, like I want to bring the kids to him so that they can.
And that's kind of stuff we'll talk about in a little, but let me ask him.
I just think that's different, right? Like, if he's not going to make it and he can see the kids one more time, then he should see them. So, is there, like, are we getting updates from the hospital?
Yeah, see, I feel like a lot of the things that she's saying now are things that she should have already said, like, in the very beginning. Like, oh, my God, what's going on? What's the update? Who did this? Can we go see him? Is he still around? Is he still alive? You know, but, like, as she's, like, talking to this woman right here, she's realizing, oh, shit, this is what my reaction is supposed to be. These are the questions that I'm supposed to ask. This is how I'm supposed to be like. So I think, I don't know, that's how I'm seeing this. I feel like these reactions are not very, they don't seem very genuine.
They have been, they were at the hospital. Obviously, when, something like this happens, they do go to the hospital.
How did this, so when it happened, did someone call the police because they heard a gunshot or something?
Now she wants to know how it happened.
How would they know did he call the police? How would they know to take him to the hospital?
I don't know the answers to all these, and I'm not, I'm going to let, when Investigator Eisen comes back in here, I'll let you kind of ask some of those questions.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
But I didn't want you to think, I'm sorry, I just didn't want you to think that he was
I thought he was gone.
And that's what I was getting from your conversation, and I didn't want it to be.
If he's still alive, I need to make different choices. I want the boys to be with him. I don't know. I mean, if he looks scary, then...
Right, and that's what...
Is that why? Does he look scary? Is that why?
I don't know. I haven't seen him.
Because I think that would be more traumatizing for the kids to see like something horrible. Right. I don't want them to.
And I will say, from a victim advocate perspective, I always recommend people not, especially young children.
They're so little. I mean, they could like. I want them to have. If it's gonna have to be memories, I want them to be good. Mm-hmm. Because their last memory would have been him taking them to school this morning. Mm-hmm. This morning.
I mean, at this point, he's already kind of erased from their children's mind, probably, I don't know. Well, erased in a way where taking away his last name, changing the names here and there.
There's no reason for them to think that anything's going to happen to the boys right now, okay?
Okay.
And I just want you to know that there's no indications that...
But why would someone do this? Like, why wouldn't they just come after my whole family?
I do hear your concern. I do. I just want you to know, though, like, there's no, if there was an indication.
I mean, there's no indication some crazy person was gonna kill Danny, so why would they not think someone was gonna, like, anything could happen, right?
From what I understood, that there was someone that was at the school.
They didn't find anyone, like, running away at the scene, did they?
I don't know that answer, okay? I'm sorry, I know I'm giving you a lot of, I don't know.
I know, I'd rather that than you make something up, but I just have no idea what's happening right now.
I'm sorry. Let me go see and try to talk to the investigator.
Her fake crying is pretty wild. Because I mentioned this in my other video, I feel like she would have been aggressive in asking who did it, how was it done, how did they shoot him, is he still okay? Like, I feel like it would be way more aggressive. I wonder what she's thinking right now. Yeah, I really do hope Dan's family are going to be able to spend more time with the kids.
Okay, I tried Lynn's office, and of course it's, you know, she's a state worker at 4:30 on a Friday, so she wasn't there. I called.
Phone from my phone.
And no, they called me.
Did you tell Jane what happened?
No, I told her, I didn't want to tell her over the phone. I said, I'm sorry, I'm being cryptic. Something's happened with her ex-husband and she needs you here and we need help picking up the kids and you're free to go with her when she gets here. We'll work on car seats. They may be done doing what they need to do with your van on your mind, but anything to drink or snack, or I know you were at lunch, but.
Just some water.
Some water? Okay.
Thank you.
No problem.
You got somebody?
Yep, she's on her way.
Okay, where's she going?
She's coming here.
Okay.
And
I'm trying to keep you informed as much as possible.
Thank you.
I'm trying to be in a bunch of places at once.
My grandmother once said you can't have your tuchus in two places at once. So it's hard
That's
to
true.
do.
That's true.
I'm losing my mind over here.
Okay, this is the thing. All
Think
right.
Wendy's a mastermind?
I'm my understanding. Okay, I'm going to give you the. Let me do it backwards because this will be easier, or not backwards, but the other way.
I don't know, because I could see her being the catalyst to this, like complaining so much to her family, but knowing that her family would do something, not like complaining and be like, oh, I didn't know they were going to do something. I think she knew that something was going to go down. Okay. I feel like they probably talked about it, but I feel like maybe the mastermind who like introduced, like maybe she wanted Dan Markell to be murdered, but she wouldn't say it explicitly to her family, but she complained about him so much that both Charlie and Donna were both like the masterminds behind it, the architects behind it. Right. And she just kept going along with it. I don't know. I could totally see that. I could totally see that. Because like when they say that she's the mastermind, I think of like her saying like, hey, Mom, Charlie, I want you to kill Dan Markell. Like, I want you guys to figure a way to get rid of this man out of my life. I don't know if I can see that. I could see her being a little bit more covert about it and just saying that like, oh, Dan is the worst. He's trying to take my kids away. He's making my life miserable. Mom, Dad, I want to hang out with you guys, but I can't because I can't move down because of Dan and blah, 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 blah. Like just saying all this shit about Dan, right? And then Charlie and Donna, like it's kind of like Inception, right? Do you guys ever watch the Inception movie? It's like you don't directly tell the person to do something, but you give little hints here and there and have them think that the idea came out of their own, that they were the ones that, you know, incepted it themselves. I don't know. That's what I was thinking. Whew.
Is he still alive?
Clinically, he's not going to live.
What does that mean?
He has
he
a
brain
severe
dead?
yes. He has a severe brain injury.
So much shot in the head.
It's apparently there's too much damage to recover from it. Okay, that's why we need to get a hold of
His family.
parents. Right.
I don't know what his I don't know if he has an advance directive or
Right.
what he would have wanted. He once told me that he would want we joked, I said I would want to be like if I was ever, I have an advance directive. I do this kind of work. I run a medical legal partnership. Like, if I once said if I ever was like brain dead, I would want to be like, I'd want the plug pulled.
Right.
And he said he would want all efforts made. Like, he would be cryogenically frozen. Like, he wanted every single effort that could be made to keep him alive. I know that much.
My understanding, and that's what we'll have to get a hold of the family as soon as possible, but my understanding is there's irreparable damage. There's nothing that can be done. I mean,
she did go back to her family for 2 weeks before Dan Markell was murdered, and it's possible that like they could have just plotted it all up during those 2 weeks.
I'm not there. I wasn't there, but I understand from previous cases that the brain, his brain is damaged beyond repair. There's nothing that can be done for that.
Is he still alive? Should I bring the kids to see him?
No. He has severe.
Are you purposely asking these questions, Wendi?
I'm sorry, and I know this is tough, but I would not want my children to see.
Okay.
Does anyone know if Wendi ever visits Dan at the hospital? Or any of the family members on her side? I know they're in like 7 hours drive, but I think they rushed her ass out of here. And he actually passed away the next day. Did she ever go see Dan Markell at the hospital? I don't know if I heard about that. We did. We watched Jeff Lacasse. Yeah, I posted that on my YouTube channel too. We did, but I want to watch this in when he goes up there to testify on the stand in Charlie's trial.
Okay, I just thought I got this inkling that maybe he was like still somewhat conscious, and I wanted him to get to be with them.
No, you thought he was dead.
Okay.
You thought he was dead. You're already writing him off.
Okay.
I'm sorry about that, but that's the way it is. Like I said, there's severe injury, trauma.
Okay.
All right.
Is there someone is there a doctor working on him, or are they just?
There's doctors at the trauma bay, the ER. I think he's been transferred to ICU.
Okay.
All right, and they'll have to make a determination about organs.
Oh my God.
And so forth.
Oh.
So, hence, hopefully we can.
Okay, the kids. Yeah, the kids.
All right, now let's talk about the kids. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I don't know who the contact person was. Was it one of the ladies that you were eating with?
No.
Hey, Paul.
I thought I wasn't supposed to contact them, so I didn't ask about those two because I thought it seemed. Anyway, I asked two other women I'm friends with.
Okay, that are familiar with the children.
Jane is who they got.
Does the daycare place have to be contacted to allow her to?
Fine, but I'm trying not to freak the kids out any more than necessary. So Lynn or Alan, her husband, Alan or Lynn would be the best choice.
You don't have a number by heart for them?
No.
Okay.
Here, let me go check with Joanna and see
Please.
where she got.
My thing is that let's let the.
My ex-husband caused me a lot of grief. I would never do something like that.
I know. And it's
so I understand why I would
Okay.
be the person you would think would do something, but
well, we have to work just as hard to eliminate
it's
people.
fine.
Wait, is he even saying that she's like? What did he ask her? She keeps saying like, "Oh, I understand if you think I'm the primary suspect. I understand if you think it's me." Like, why are you ratting yourself out so many times?
I want to figure out who this is because I'm honestly worried.
Well, let me ask you: if you found out that this was someone that you personally know, would that change your mind about what should happen to that person
Ooh.
What should happen to that person?
for prosecution purposes?
Oh, that question threw her off guard. I'm sorry. I got to rewind it back a little bit. Oh, dude.
You understand exactly how we have to do things, and I haven't had to explain a lot of stuff, but really, I feel the need to. I really want you here.
Okay.
If and you're not under arrest or anything like that.
I understand why you think I'm the primary suspect.
No, you're not the primary suspect. I have to work just as hard, whether you were or you're not.
Okay. I understand.
To show what your activities were.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And let's put it this way. I think you're a straightforward person. And I think at this point, if you had anything to do with this, you'd have already told me.
Okay.
She kind of has been.
So my thing is that let's let the.
My ex-husband caused me a lot of grief. I would never do something like that.
I know.
Oh, dude. The fact that like she's crying and then like she's like stopping her tracks.
Let's let the...
My ex-husband caused me a lot of grief. I would never do something like this.
I know.
Wait, what? What happened? The fuck? Where'd he go? Oh my god. What did I just do? Control Z, Z. What happened? Hello? Why did it just black out like that? Oh my god. Okay. I don't know what happened. Everything's trying to give me a headache today.
A lot of grief. I would never do something like this.
I know. And it's
So
gonna...
I understand why I would be the person you would think would do something, but
Well, we have to work just as hard to eliminate
it's
people.
fine. I want to figure out who this is because I'm honestly worried.
Well, let me ask you, if you found out that this was someone that you personally know, would that change your mind about what should happen to that person
About what should happen to that person?
for prosecution purposes?
No.
Is there any way that you would think
if
somebody
tried to kill my ex-husband, they should be prosecuted to the full extent of the law.
regardless of who it is?
I mean, it would be different if I thought it were my brother, but I don't think it was my family. Anyone outside my immediate family, that's a tough one.
Okay.
But I don't think my immediate family did this, so...
Okay.
Wendi! Oh my god. Wendi! You are the one who's just... She's the one who's fucking everything up, okay? I'm glad she is too. I'm glad she's fucking everything up. Wendi! She keeps bringing up her brother. She keeps bringing up her brother. Listen, it's the inception, okay? She's trying to tell the detective, my brother didn't do it. It wasn't him. It wasn't my family. It was none of them. I wasn't involved. I think we need to have a counter of how many times Wendi brings up her being a suspect about her brother Charlie. Like I feel like she just keeps bringing it up. It's like wink, wink. We're not involved. Wink, wink. Oh, the ads are coming on in. I made the ads very non-aggressive on Twitch. I think before they used to be like 3 minutes an hour. I think now it's like what 30 seconds an hour. Oh my goodness, Wendi! Oh god.
If it's anybody else, yeah.
Okay. Would you think that this guy Charlie would even be capable of doing something like this?
No.
Let's just talk.
He's the Joker.
Okay. All right. Based on the fact that the clock is already ticking, all right, and we have to do as much work as possible up front. That's why I want you to stay here,
Okay.
if at all possible.
Okay.
But you're these children's mother, and if they have somebody...
You can't freak him out, you know? Like,
nobody's going to freak them out.
I know, I'm just saying, like, my kids, like, they're already going to have to deal with so much. Like, they're going to wonder where I am, and the best thing would be Lynn and Alan, to have them hang around with them. My friend Janine, I was with two women. One of them is well, they're both doctors, but one of them has kids that the boys are friends with. And so, like, he could go over their house. They could go over their house and spend time. I don't want them like, where's mommy? What's
Mommy's
going on?
busy.
I mean,
Mommy's
they are
busy,
gonna
can't
ask-
come here right now.
Oh, dude, I wonder if she's like, dude, I'm fucking this up. I need to get the fuck out of here. She's like, oh, I don't want my kids to be like, where's mommy? So maybe I should go pick them up myself. Like, I feel like she doesn't want to say it because it might make her look like a suspect even more. But she's trying to say it like implicitly. Where's mommy? They're going to freak out. They need mommy, you know? Like, I think she's trying to be like, oh, she's trying to get the detectives to be like, oh, hey, like, you know what? Actually, why don't you just go pick them up? You go pick them up. Like, I think she's trying to get out of this interrogation because she knows she's fucking up.
Yeah, that sounds right. Uh-huh.
Do you want
It's like a whole cast of characters. You get Jane from 1 Million Bones.
each other every time in school, right?
They have Ben's a July birthday, Lincoln's October, so they made it up a little more space.
Okay. So like have because July he'll probably be like the young baby in classes.
That was our.
He'll be the older.
That's what we were supposed to talk about this morning. Is like whether Ben should start kindergarten or go to kindergarten twice, or what he should do. And then he didn't call me back, which was weird.
She just called Donna, and I feel like it's like one of those fakest reaction ever.
Are you thirsty?
Yeah.
Let me see if I...
Is it Joanne or Joanna?
Joanna.
She said she was going to bring some water.
Okay. We're kind of all running around.
I guess this is a very different version of me you saw on the stage speaking versus having this. Thank you for that.
Okay, Jody.
Yes, that this is an acceptable version given the circumstances.
I just keep picturing the kids and what I'm going to tell them.
And from what I understand, Lynn's here.
Lynn's here?
Yeah, I think they're going to go ahead and have her go pick up the kids.
Can I just like get a hug from
When she calls Donna, oh man. When did she call Donna? When did we get to that part? Hey, have you auctioned off those like snot farms? Or snot pile farms? Why is it? I think it's still thinking of farmer or sowing her seeds. If you auction that off, someone might buy it. Better than Dippolito? I do think she's better than Amber Heard. I think she's way better actress than Amber Heard if she's acting. I think Amber Heard did a really bad job. I don't think Amber Heard's a good actress. She like reeks of like villain. Reeks? Am I thinking of reeks? Reeks.
Does she know what's going on?
Do
all of them know what's going on?
I think they know that he's been seriously injured. I don't know.
Like,
Hi, honey. Oh, dear. Oh,
Is this a friend? I wonder what the friend thinks now. Do we have any updated interviews from her friends?
I'm sorry, I needed to call you.
okay, sweetie.
Did they tell you?
They didn't tell me. I know.
Everything's on the news?
It is on the news, but I don't know anything. I know there was a shooting in Danny's block this morning. That's all I know.
That's all I know.
Oh, dear. Oh, honey. You know how he is?
He's not good, Jane.
Really?
Oh, this is Jane McPherson. Oh, Jeff Lacoste is talking about Jane McPherson.
I was driving up the street and I saw like the tape and I just thought, oh, maybe there's like an electrical outage or something. Like I saw the street blocked.
So
I was driving into town.
Oh, here she goes, giving information again. All right, let's get the recap. Tell us about the electrical tape. Or sorry, tell us about the tape and the electrical work.
Like an electrical outage or something. Like I saw the street blocked.
So
I was driving into town. I was running errands. I was meeting some friends for lunch, and I drove up Trescott because it's the shortcut. And so I drive up Trescott, and I see the tape, and I was like, I guess there was like an electrical outage. Cause
I like how she's explaining it's the shortcut. She's trying to explain everything away again, just for the lady that's sitting next to her right. Oh, I went this way because it's a shortcut.
sometimes we'd have trees that would fall or whatever, and so I turned around and didn't think anything of it. I was at lunch with two friends, and the officer shows up. And I've been here since then.
And you don't have a phone?
Well, I had a phone. I gave them.
Well, I mean, Wendy's definition of a shortcut is just taking the long way. That's all.
I said you can search my phone because maybe they can like find something useful on it.
We have to go through a lot of these steps, and as I
Of course,
explained to her, it's just as much effort to go through the steps to exclude anybody that could possibly be
Well,
involved.
of course, yeah.
Yeah, so we have her phone as soon as it's apparently it's taking a little bit longer than normal, and as soon as we get done with the phone, she'll get it back.
Yeah.
So we're just, but the main thing I was concerned about is the kids need to be picked up
Well,
on Friday.
exactly.
Right.
And so when I came and they said they'd spoken to the Grossmans,
Yeah.
I was like, I'll get the kids. I'm a
Right.
social worker. I've picked up kids that don't know me before, but
Right.
I think, especially given
I
this.
gave them your name and Lynn's name
Right.
and said, I think like Alan and Lynn have done it.
Got a lot of stuff going
No,
on.
certainly there's
Not really the most important thing
it's
right
not
now.
the most important
No,
thing.
no, no. I saw her shivering, and I kept thinking I'll go out and find out if they had a bunch of them. They had a bunch of them, but I don't know what's still available.
So what do you mean he's not good? What do you know about this?
I don't think he's gonna make it.
Oh my God. Really?
Oh, I don't know how I'm gonna tell the kids.
Let's put that on.
That would be great. Thank you.
Thanks.
You really know that? You know that?
Man, does Jade McPherson, did she ever talk about this? Well, that's her. I wonder what her thoughts now. I wonder if she's still friends with Wendi. Jesus.
What's that? I'm sorry.
You know that they don't think he's going to make it through this? Oh, really?
You're not gonna make it.
He's a TMH right now?
I was asking because I thought maybe he would, and I wanted
Right.
I wanted the kids to be with him if he wasn't
Okay.
going.
Okay. Oh, God. I know, but I mean,
There's no family here.
They don't,
girlfriend, anybody come down? Nothing?
Amy, I don't know if Amy knows yet. I don't have Amy's phone number.
Amy's on
Oh.
Facebook.
I'll contact her later.
She's on Facebook. I mean, she can be found.
Yeah. I was thinking of one more thing. This is really tangential, but his friend I told you about, Matt Price,
Right.
his wife's brother was killed. So if you're going to call someone first, Matt's going to lose it. So
I don't intend on calling Matt. I just need to have the background on different associates and friends and so
Right,
forth. You know, my objective is to find out who did this. So, based on what you've told me, I'm going to take that information, compile it with other information that other investigators have worked on, and we'll see where it leads.
okay.
Now, I'm not saying anybody that you told me about is any way involved.
Is there
I
any
don't
sign
know.
of stuff being stolen from the house?
I can't discuss that.
Okay.
You see, Jane is asking the right questions. All right. She's asking the right questions. She's like, how is he? What happened? Is he okay? Do you know who's involved? Oh my God, are the stuff stolen? She's asking the normal questions. Wendi, on the other hand, is because I feel like she already knows the answers to a lot of this, and that's why she's not answering them questions. Jade is asking the questions. Oh, is there any signs of things being stolen? Like, was this a robbery? What's up?
So,
But you are discussing that you don't think he's going to live. I mean,
I'm telling you a fact that I know he's not going to live. He's not going to live.
Hey, yo, Wendi, Jade's making you look bad.
So,
is he dead now?
Send Jane away.
well, I already discussed that with her. He has enough injury that's traumatic enough that he's not going to be able to recover from it.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Did Lynn already go get the boys?
Yeah.
What's happening right now is Lynn's on her way here. She doesn't have.
Like if you
It's,
That's
I mean,
just so that she's because she's going to be done. Like, what if she can't then drive and go get the boys? Like,
okay, but let me just say to you, I didn't know anything when I came here. So my husband Googles and says there was a shooting on Trescott Drive this morning at
I
11.
got a call from
So-
my real estate agent who heard something.
So I know that I didn't know why I was coming here, but anybody with more sense would have known that.
John told you that?
Yes.
When you told him you were coming here?
No,
or-
they found John. Interestingly, they found John's cell phone number.
They found me eating lunch. I don't know how that happened. I'm fascinated still.
And
We have ways of finding.
yeah, it's interesting. So they called my husband's cell phone, and he's like, here she is. Talk to her. And they said you needed me at the police department, so I came.
Right.
It was not a.
What did you think I needed you for?
I wasn't thinking it was good news, but I didn't. My thought was that Danny had probably assaulted you. That was my
I
thought.
think that was Lisa's thought when she's like, I heard there was a shot on Trescott,
So-
and so I hope you're okay.
So that.
Realtor.
Yeah.
So that was my. But this.
No, I don't think when the realtor called to leave that voice message, I didn't get the feeling that she was saying it because, oh, are you okay? Because did he hurt you? Did he assault you? I felt like she was just like, hey, like I heard something happen. Like, I don't know if I'm overthinking it, but just letting you know. Like, I don't know. I didn't get the feeling that like she was calling because she was afraid that Wendi had been hurt by Dan Markell. I don't know. Did you guys get that feeling from the voice message?
Scenario, which is now not seeming real to me. It
Yeah,
didn't
well,
seem
me neither.
like that was not what I
Me neither.
what I thought of.
I just keep picturing the kids.
Right. No. So there's no point in doing that. Don't do that. So
When Lynn gets here, I'm going to just ask her to take the kids to her house. Would that be
Instead of my
reasonable?
house?
I think
Would that
that's
be
much
more
better.
reasonable?
Is that better? She has a TV. They can watch
Yeah,
TV.
yeah,
I know, but
Yes.
they've been
Oh
there
gosh, she's got a TV. You know, my kids, they might break it.
before.
A
Yeah.
bunch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
take
they're
them
very
there.
comfortable there.
Take
They have
them
children of their own.
They've got 4 kids. They're grown, but
Take them there. Take
Okay,
them there.
yeah.
Because
I'm going to go make sure that I don't miss her.
Okay.
thank you.
Lane Grossman, right?
Mhm. I am losing my shit.
Well, that would be appropriate. I think you should do that. I think if you don't do that, then that's
Jane,
not right.
who would have done this?
I have just
And
one
are they
idea.
going to come after my kids? Or me? Who's next?
Is Jeff this much of a lunatic?
I didn't even think of Jeff. I hope to God not.
May I ask who Jeff is?
Yeah, of
Yeah, I
course.
think-
Oh, you know Jeff didn't do it. Oh, come on. You know it wasn't Jeff.
I think Wendy's been seeing a guy called Jeff
Who's a friend of
Us.
Jane's. And
who's jealous.
yeah.
Are you still currently seeing him, or just something you kind of
Well,
let taper off?
it's been a bad week.
Okay.
Yeah, Jane and I actually went for a walk together.
And to be clear, Jeff Lacoste said that it's not like he was like jealous. It was because he found out that Wendi was like cheating on him. Like she was seeing other men and she was hiding it and he would confront her. And I don't think it's just your typical like, oh, I'm just jealous because you're talking to your coworker right there, your male coworker. It's just like, no, it's because you're cheating on me and you're seeing other men behind my back and I caught you seeing a guy at a coffee shop and you wouldn't tell me who it was. Oh, man.
Tuesday? Wednesday? Early this week.
Earlier this week, but you've taken a 1 week break from
I took
Jeff.
a 1 week break from communication with Jeff to figure out what to do.
Okay.
Because we've been dating for like
A year.
9 months, like 10 months a year.
And when you use the word dating to you, is that's my boyfriend, or is it more of just dating, like the casual? Okay.
Yeah.
No, like he was my boyfriend and involved with the kids, and I mean, yeah. And we had kind of a fight recently.
Oh, dude, that's so hard. Okay, let me try my best, Kay. This is Wendi Adelson. Okay. She was married to a man named Dan Markell. They had 2 kids together. They had a very nasty divorce. She wanted to move her and her kids 7 hours away from Dan Markell to be closer to her family in Miami. And so all of a sudden, her husband gets murdered. And so far, there has been 2 hitmen that have been convicted. There's been a woman who sort of hired the hitman, but the woman that was hiring the hitman, that's this woman's brother's ex-girlfriend. So the story is that her family hired a hitman to kill her ex-husband. That way, her and the children could move closer to be with the rest of the family in Miami. Oh, in the context of this interrogation, so this is the day that her husband was shot. She's brought in, and not because they thought she did it or she was nearby or anything like that, but they just want to bring her in for an interview and just ask her some questions. And so that's where we're at right now. But there has been some really interesting things going on with this interview. Out of nowhere, she mentioned that, my brother did jokingly say that it was cheaper to buy a TV than hire a hitman. And so the cop's like, the fuck? So you think your brother could have? Oh, no. My brother would never do anything like that. He just makes a lot of distasteful jokes. But then she would bring up her brother again and again. And the cop's like, well, what if your family was involved? Like whoever did this, you think they should be prosecuted? She's like, yeah, of course, the full extent. Okay, well, what if it's your family that's involved? Well, that might be like a different story. Like it's basically her self-snitching herself and her family. We're trying to determine whether or not she's really involved. There's a lot of red flags about her that points to her being involved. A lot of people do think that she's involved and perhaps even the mastermind of this. I think it's possible that she could have been the inceptor. Okay. She's the one who in her mind wanted to get rid of her ex-husband, but she didn't want to say it, explicitly to her family. So she's going to say some things like, oh, he's ruining my life, or I can't do this. I can't do that. I want to be closer to you guys, to the point where maybe her brother, who's very protective of her, and the mom, who is super obsessed with her life, will intervene and be like, hey, let's just kill him. Fuck it. Let's just fucking kill him. He's ruining your life. Let's just fucking kill him. So we're trying to figure out if she's involved in this. We have some red flags, though, because I think one of the major red flags that I have about Wendi, not only is she bringing up, you know, her being a suspect and her brother and the TV thing, she's like willingly giving this information to the police. Okay. But the day of the murders, the day of the murders, which is today, she made an errand. She went to go pick up liquor. She went to go meet up her girlfriends at a restaurant. But the route that she takes is a very weird one. So instead of going straight, let me get a notepad, okay? Instead of going, wait, not a notepad. What's the other one called again when you draw? Artwork? Paint. So her track kind of looks like this. And this is her house. This is like some liquor stores that are near her, okay? This is like the restaurant that she wants to go at. So instead of just going like this, okay? Her ex-husband's house is all the way down here, like 13 miles away, okay? 13 miles away. Instead of going straight like that, she takes this other fucking route. Colors, okay? She goes all the way down this way. And she like sort of tries to drive by the house, but she couldn't. She said she made a U-turn because she saw like tape. It was like taped off. So she was like, oh, maybe something bad happened. Like, you know, maybe a tree fell. So she said she took a U-turn or something. And then she goes to a liquor store like that's like here or wherever. And then she ends up going back all the way up here to where she's supposed to go. So she keeps telling people that I took a shortcut. It's like, you took a shortcut, but ma'am, you had two liquor stores that were right here. Your destination is right here. Why the fuck did you go all the way down this way? Why? We don't get a good explanation for that. She has testified and she has been asked about that, and she doesn't really give a good answer. So it is suspicious to all of us that she drove by the crime scene. And not only that, her children were in custody of the husband at the time, or not in custody, but they have like shared custody, right? The children were in the care of the husband during that time. So if you drove by your old neighborhood near your old house and you saw there was police tape, wouldn't you be like, holy shit, what the fuck? Are you guys okay? Are the kids okay? Wouldn't you be texting or calling your husband? Wouldn't you be Googling the news? Wouldn't you be checking the neighbors app to see what's up? She didn't. She just made a U-turn and she just fucking dipped out. And then not only that, they were saying that like, well, if you drove up that close to see the police tape, you would have realized it's the crime scene. You would have saw the marked vehicles, the police vehicles. You would have saw other law enforcement vehicles, like maybe the medic stuff. And so it's kind of weird to us that you drove up to the tape and you just thought, oh, maybe a tree fell. So that to me is like the most suspicious. I think if we didn't have her driving by it, I might be iffy whether or not she's involved. I think that's like the strongest argument against her, but I'm continuing to watch more to see maybe she did drive by and maybe she really didn't think of anything and maybe she really is a little bit stupid. I don't know. I'm still watching, but I feel like there's a lot of red flags about her. A lot of red flags. Steve says, for her birthday present, I took my wife to an orchard. How do you say orchard? And we stood there looking at trees for half an hour. I don't think it was an Apple Watch she was expecting. Wait, what? For her birthday present, I took my wife to an orchard and we stood there looking at the trees for half an hour. I don't think it was the Apple Watch she was expecting. Stupid. Okay, 2 out of 10. 2 out of 10. This is why you don't drive by the crime scene. Why would you drive by the crime scene? It's as if she wanted to be, I don't know. You know how like serial killers will drive by the crime scene again because they want to see what type of effect their work had. Okay. They want to see all the police tape, all the police scrambling around. It like gives them like a sense of satisfaction and pride. So maybe she was getting a kick out of it, assuming that she knew what was going on. But that's where we're at with Wendi Adelson.
And he's been trying to get back together, and I didn't know if I wanted to, and so he actually, the morning that I gave that talk, my boys were there and Jeff was watching them, so I could give the talk. Like Jane, do you think I have to tell them about him?
I think you have to tell them about him because
Hi, lady.
that is the only,
God forbid.
the only thing that I can imagine related to you, related to Danny, would be
The only
Jeff.
thing I could come up
Yeah, and then also, I feel like Jade McPherson is doing what any normal, typical person would do, right? She's like trying to offer up like different, like, oh, maybe it's this, maybe it's that, maybe it's whatever. I think Jeff Lacoste was a little bit miffed at her for bringing his name up, but I mean, she's like the friend, and she's like, well, I don't know who else would, be tied to both you and Danny at the same time. Could be like a jealous ex-rage thing, right? But it's kind of interesting how, I don't know. I feel like this, to me, seems more genuine than whatever's going on over here.
with was like his girlfriend Amy is recently divorced, separated, not really divorced. Like,
Sure. So
what if-
either of those people.
like the jealous boyfriend types, like what if the ex-husband...
Right, totally. And you know that this divorce has been very stressful, and Jeff has been very stressed out by the stressfulness of your divorce.
I mean, I'll tell them this, right? Like, can you tell them?
And when investigator Isom comes back, you guys can just, say, and he'll ask all the questions that investigators ask that I don't think of very often because I'm a victim advocate and I don't think of
Right,
things.
but I think you do have to tell about him.
Yeah, I wasn't
You weren't
not
thinking
telling
of
on
him.
purpose.
No, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
I wasn't thinking of it. I just kept thinking, like, who in the world...
Is he
Which
someone
was-
that has, access to...
He's a professor of social work.
Okay.
He's
All
a
right.
former
Chill, guys. She went to Amber Heard School of Fine Acting.
military.
Yeah.
But I mean,
But he's
you
not.
don't think about this guy as like, oh, there's the kind of guy.
Right.
I mean, I would more just as like say that maybe you did this.
Right.
It's just relationally, he's jealous.
Right.
Okay, so I think the internet say that Wendi was trying to frame Jeff. I don't think Wendi was trying to frame Jeff. I don't think that even came across her mind. Yeah, I don't know if I believe that, because I think a lot of people said that, like, oh, even the hitmen were driving a vehicle that was like similar to Jeff's. It's like Prius versus, what the fuck was Jeff driving? Like an old ass like Ultima or something like that, or like a Nissan Sentra. I don't know. It was like some old ass car. I don't know. I don't get the feeling that Wendi was trying to set up Jeff. From what I'm watching right now, right here, I think what she was trying to do was set up her family.
Something is bad. This and that. I'm
Something is bad.
I'm
Yeah.
just assuming that this isn't true for the moment, but I guess that's not so.
And you have to look at it this way. Telling them this, if anything, will help them disqualify Jenny.
Right. That's
Yeah.
important to do.
Yeah, of course. Do you want to give them his number?
I don't. I mean,
So we can-
I can give them.
They have
I
my
give them
phone, so-
they certainly have a ton of stuff from him. So I.
Oh yeah, like she was trying to throw suspicion at she said like Dan Markell, didn't get along with people, and then she brought up like Dan Markell's girlfriend had like a divorce recently, maybe it's him. But I don't think she was trying to frame Jeff Lacoste. Maybe later on after like Jane brought up Jeff Lacoste, maybe she tried to pivot towards that, but I didn't get a sense that she was like trying to like she was a mastermind behind trying to pin it on Jeff Lacoste. Right? Wait, hold on. Let me think. Well, I gotta think about Jeff Lacoste's interview. What did Jeff say? Jeff said that Wendi knew his schedule. Jeff said it would have looked bad because he was also leaving from that area that same day. Jeff said that Wendi, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. I'm trying to think what else Jeff said. Because I think when I listened to Jeff's interview, I was like, oh shit, it kind of does sound like maybe Wendi tried to set him up. But I don't know, watching this interview, I don't know if I get a strong feeling anymore. I don't know if I get a strong feeling. I mean, the timing of her breaking up with Jeff is kind of weird. It could be coincidental, but it was kind of weird. And then also, I think if anything, I think she was really just trying to set up her family, because she even told Jeff and the TV repairman about Charlie, saying that like it's better to buy a TV than hire a hitman. I don't know. I don't know. She's doing a way better job than AH. Yeah, I think AH was not very good. Wendi, on the other hand, I think she does a pretty decent job. And then Wendi does a pretty decent job at getting people to try to like her. Or she'll make like these like jokes here and there, get people to laugh. She'll start laughing. And I feel like a lot of us were just like, we can see through that. But I don't know. I think she does a way better job than AH. AH was just very like, it was like a socio-psycho. I don't know. What would you call her? A sociopath or a psychopath? It was like someone that was trying, it was like someone who was like robotic trying to be human when she was on the stand. That's like the sense that I got from her. She was like, she was like trying so hard to be human. It was just like, oh God, like, no, this is not working because you're just like a robot or something. What did the repairman say? Well, so the day that the murder happened, there was a repairman from Geek Squad came to repair her TV. And she was like, oh, you know, I told the repairman that, you know, it would be, my brother said it would be cheaper to buy me a new TV than to hire a hitman. It's like, why are you spreading this to so many different people? She told her sort of ex-boyfriend this. She told the TV repairman this. Like, she's just offering all this information up. She told the investigator this.
Googled.
Maybe she don't want to be implicated anyway. She for sure doesn't want to be implicated anyway, for sure. But I think she's doing a horrible job at that.
So you Googled Truscott shooting, and what do you see?
Just that, you know, police investigate shooting on Truscott Drive.
That it's on the news.
And unfortunately, the media here tends to get places, and they can't really.
Oh man, if we can get Donna and Charlie's, okay, probably not Charlie because he already had his trial, but if we can get like Donna's like internet history from back then, I seriously doubt it. But like, what if Donna was spamming Truscott shooting to see if anything would pop up? Like, oh, did the shooting happen yet? Oh, I wonder what happened. I wonder if she kept like spamming that before she was officially given the news about Dan Markell. Dude, that would be crazy if we get that from her internet history. No, not a VCR repairman. It's a TV repairman. Did I say VCR?
From being outside.
How often is there a shooting in like Northeast Tallahassee, right?
Truscott Drive, not so often.
This is what I can't figure out. How did he get to the hospital? Like, did he call 911?
No, a neighbor, according to WCTV.
Why didn't you ask the police this earlier?
Here.
And this should be said, the police department won't release his name until they notify
the family.
And them being in Canada puts a little bit more of a wrench into our notification because it's a little bit more difficult to do internationally. But we're in the process.
And there's really, his injuries are really terrible.
The police got notified because a neighbor. Is it a picture of the house? Oh my God! You can see the car. You can't tell it's our house.
Well, yeah, right. You can't tell it's not your house. It certainly appears to be a house like your house.
Yeah. And they say the 2100 block of Truscott Drive. It must be still blocked off. I bet it's going to be blocked off for a while.
It's certainly a crime scene, obviously a crime scene.
But it's like a thorough. I mean, a lot of people use that as like a drive-through.
Now, people obviously know about this. Danny did show up places today.
When he should have said she was taking a shortcut. Listen, I was on my way to Blockbuster and then I had to go to Circuit City afterwards. Okay, I had to return some things. All right, this is the shortcut that I know.
I don't know that he had anywhere to show up today. Did he? Like, did you know? Because like it's summertime, he works from home.
Oh, yeah, that triggers me, actually. I hate it when people are rubbing my back when I'm nauseous. Listen, when you're rubbing my back when I'm nauseous, when I'm sick, it feels 10 times, a million times worse. Stop it. Don't rub my back. Don't pat my back. Okay, I hate it. Don't do it.
Right,
but there are people, but you know, imagine if any of us fall off the grid from 11 o'clock this morning, any colleagues...
that had a meeting or whatever.
Right, all of the stuff he does over phone.
Right. Well, he and I were supposed to talk about where Ben was going to school, and it was very unlike him.
Why are they talking about? I'm so confused. Why are we talking about this right now? Dude, he's like barely hanging on to his life.
I was the one who had to call him. So like he called early this morning. I had a repair guy at the house. And he called early this morning, and I left a message, and then I called him back. I have the phone record. He called at like 9. And he told me he went to Premiere. So he says, I don't know, like, I think he went straight from dropping off the boys to go to Premiere. And then he said, I'm going to do an exercise class that gets out at 10:15 or 10:30, and then we can talk after that. You remember how I had a voice thing? Like, I hadn't talked to him. He was like, I know your voice is bad. Like, does today work? And he said we could go for a walk at the law school, or we could talk, like, and I have this message on my phone from him, which is why I said to the officer, there's no way he did this to himself. Like, zero chance that he shot himself. You know Danny.
I think there's zero chance.
Zero chance.
Danny would kill himself.
Yes, zero chance. Like, someone did this to him. So he had plans that we would.
I mean, alive isn't his heart's beating, but like technically, no. He's like on life support.
Like, I mean, he said this at 9. Like, we'll take a walk. We'll figure this out. We'll talk about
which
school.
is so sad.
And then I called him at like 11:45 or so and left a message. And that was, I thought, weird, but I thought whatever. Like,
I remember, I always thought like when you're on life support, I don't know, because I guess like when you watch TV, right, and people do CPR, you're just like, oh, they just come back to life, like CPR, easy. Life support, they might wake up again. I didn't realize that like for, I don't know, especially for dogs, like when I was going through this with like Steve, my little corgi. I didn't realize that like when you do CPR, like, yeah, their heart may be beating again, but the chances of them actually like being like their brain being alive is like very low. I didn't know that because I was like, yeah, just fucking do CPR. What are you talking about? Because, you know, they have to sign this form where it's like, oh, do you want to resuscitate them? I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, resuscitate them. No shit. I want them to be alive. Yeah, I didn't know when like you do CPR, like you have like not a good chance. I mean, unless you're human, I think humans have a better chance of being brought back. But like with dogs, it's like pretty low. And then also like being put on life support. I don't know. That's like a hard thing. I'm like, oh, just, yeah. I mean, if their heart is beating, keep them alive. But I didn't realize that, like, I don't know. Sometimes your brain could just like be dead. I don't know. It's like super sad.
And you probably thought, oh, good. I don't have to talk to him. But
I was really anxious about speaking with him and having this be a contentious issue about where Sarkis was going to go to school.
Oh my God.
And I didn't hear from him, and I didn't think too much of it. I just thought, like, well, they'll just call me later. And then at around noon, I had lunch plans at 1, and I was supposed to go to a friend's engagement party tonight, and it's called a Stack the Bar engagement. So I went to go find bourbon. So I went to drive to ABC Liquors, and I went to go through Trescott, and it was blocked off. So I went around, and then I looked for bourbon, and then I got gas. That's why I was trying to show the officer, like, I have receipts from all these things, but I don't know if it matters if they're at noon. I mean, obviously, like, I would be one of the...
Yeah, I think for dogs, it was like, sorry, when I say like better chance, it was like humans, if you were doing it in the hospital, they have like a 20% survival rate. But for dogs, I think it was like, I don't know, it was like 1, 2, 3%. It was like very low, like very, very, very low. However, if you're doing CPR while they're like in the middle of like surgery, like if they're like anesthetized, they have a higher chance of living actually than if they just went into like cardiac arrest. But yeah, I don't know. So sad. Oh, that whole thing with like having to like unplug your loved ones and all that. Like, I don't know, that's the saddest things ever. I feel so bad for Dan Markell's family because that's obviously a decision that they had to make the next day.
People that they would think did it.
Also, they charge you every time you do. I didn't know you get charged per CPR. When I looked at my vet bill, I was like, oh, what the fuck? They charge every time they do CPR to your dog. What?
It's really the most contentious relationship
Steve,
with Danny
I missed you, Steve.
that anyone has.
Yeah.
You know, but
They swabbed my hands.
well, fair enough.
Gunpowder.
They should.
They asked me if I'd washed my hands since noon, and I was embarrassed to say I hadn't. I might remember when I last washed my hands.
Oh, man, Wendi. Oh, Wendi. I don't know, man. I don't know. We are getting some yikes vibes from Wendi. I feel like, if anything, she's I don't know. I feel like she's kind of happy and giddy that Dan Markell has already been pronounced as someone who may not be able to make it back alive. I don't know, man. I feel like she's kind of like, yes.
Oh, God. Yeah, no, I think Jeff is somebody that they should talk to. And I don't know of anyone else.
They were asking, like, does he have gambling debt? Does he have... And I'm like, the only person he owes money to is me. Like, there's no one... He's like, he's a straight shooter, right? Like, he's not an alcoholic. He's not a gambler. He doesn't have a sex addiction. He doesn't, like, he doesn't have any, like, weird stuff going on in his life.
No, he's a difficult guy, but he's not.
That's what he was saying. He's like, is there anyone that hates him? And I'm like, he's difficult, but he's difficult in, like, an ivory tower kind of way.
He's not liked, but he's not.
He's not liked, but he's not hated.
Certainly not. And he has people who love him.
How do the students feel? Like, is he, like, are law students receptive to him? Like, oh, this is great.
I think there's some that really like his method, and there are a lot who don't like him at all.
So you say he's more disliked?
He's a very abrasive guy.
Does he challenge you kind of? Would that be a good?
He's challenging. He loves to argue, so he's fairly elitist. So like the students,
Very elitist. Oh my
students
goodness.
felt like put down by him a lot,
Okay.
and so they feel like insecure. But again, we're not talking about like hateful and awful. We're talking about like difficult,
Right.
you know.
Right.
Right. And he has colleagues who really don't like him.
But not enough.
But this is a different, right? It's a different, right?
They don't like him. They don't want to go to lunch with him.
Oh man, this is like so weird.
Yeah, no,
He doesn't make friends easily, but not like he makes a ton of
and he has a lot of, and he has very close connections at the temple.
That's what I said. I
I mean,
said
he
he's
has-
got
To know
Jewish
the drinking
community.
water.
He's important in the Jewish community, and he's loved, and he's
And there
serious
are two
academic.
Jewish temples in Tallahassee, or just one?
It's kind of complicated. There's
There's
Temple
three,
Israel,
please.
which is the Reform synagogue. There's Shomer Torah, which is the conservative one that he belonged to.
Okay.
And then there's Chabad, which is sort of like, it's not really clear. It's kind of like a proselytizing thing. And he would donate money there and bring the kids to events there and spend time there. So he's sort of affiliated with two of them and bring the kids to stuff at Temple Israel too.
I mean, he's very, very connected across the Jewish community.
Yeah, he's very
Because
involved.
he's also very, like, he had a major Jewish education, so he's extremely knowledgeable about Judaism, and he cares deeply about how people interpret scripture and law and rule and practice, and he's involved in all those sort of debates at the community level, and he's very, it would be hard to overestimate how involved he has been in the Jewish community. He has a lot of connections.
And it was kind of one of the reasons why we got divorced is I'm Reform, I'm kind of culturally Jewish, like we just had really different religious perspectives. I'm in the middle of a fucking nightmare.
I didn't want you to be married to him, but this was not the method.
Well, that's what I said to the officer. I was like, we had a rough time, but
This has been a terrible
he's
time.
the father of my children.
Right.
And things were entering a new phase
Why would she say that? I didn't want you to be married to him. What the fuck? What is going on here?
where he has this girlfriend and he's out of town a lot and that was nice.
I don't know.
That's why I know there's just, I mean, given his personality and everything, there's no way that he did this.
No, he didn't.
He had plans to be out of town. He was leaving on
And
Saturday.
he was
like,
delighted with Amy, and he's been delighted with this.
Yeah.
And delighted with the boys, and
Yeah.
delighted with.
no,
with-
he didn't do this. So somebody did.
He was angry and upset about the divorce. Really, really angry at Wendy. Really, really angry. But really pleased with how things were going to go
It's been
forward.
2 years and things for him were a lot better.
Do you mind if I get Mr. Isom to kind of tell him about Jeff?
I think you should do
Okay,
that.
let me go grab him.
Oh,
feel
now
like
this
we
is
brought
where they're
your
gonna bring
drink
Jeff in.
Well, I wasn't
I don't know. I think Jeff was brought in like within the next day or two, right? He had friends of mine literally had cardiac arrest out of nowhere. 60-ish guy. They were chatting while walking through the forest. He went, "Oh, that's not good. Sit down, stop breathing." Oh no. Were they able to bring him back? When you know she's being recorded, she had to go on a walk with Jane and set up Jeff Lacoste as like a psychojealous ex-boyfriend. Who's a woman in pink? That's one of her close friends, Jane McPherson. Jane McPherson is the one who introduces, what about maybe Jeff? Could it be him? Because I remember Jeff Lacoste talks about Jane McPherson in the in his interrogation.
sure how long I would be here. I was thirsty. I had just arrived home to pour, say, a glass of wine when they called and said, "Don't you want to go to the police department?" I said, "Jane, no, not really."
You believe I didn't do this, right?
I assume you didn't do this, but,
I wish I had I was home working on a paper that's due.
well, you'll
I
have.
sent it in, I sent edits to
You'll
someone.
have.
and
You'll have.
I hope they have the time log.
Of course they will. Of course they will. All of that is evident. You will. You don't.
I understand why they think it would be me. But
Of course it would be you. But it's not you. Jeff would be my vote. Now, again, just going back.
So I wonder, because it seems like Jane thinks it could be Jeff. I wonder what does Jane know about Jeff? Is Wendi shit talking about Jeff to other people too? Is that what's going on? Like, damn, Jane has some really strong feelings about Jeff. All right, y'all. Let's see. Wait, what point are we at? 1, 3. Oh, wait, I'm so confused. Oh my God. Hold on. There's a bit more. Okay.
Likely. I agree with you.
It be an accident.
He didn't do this. Jeff,
I hope to God he did.
I know Jeff didn't do it, but I don't think Danny
Somebody shot Danny.
to death. Holy shit.
He's.
Oh, he made it?
I didn't even
Yay.
know that he was still living. Sarah that told me that, and then I started freaking out. And I was like, I want to get the boys over there. Like, is he scary looking? Because I want, like, if he's not gonna make it, but he's okay, or he's not. Like, I wanted the boys to be able to be with him.
Shouldn't somebody be with him?
I know, that's what I said. I was like, he's there and he's full alone. Like, just, I was like, is he with?
Shouldn't somebody who loves him?
Yes. Should I go?
She wants to get out of here so bad.
Someone needs to go there.
I know. I mean,
He's by himself.
I mean, really, he's by himself.
I don't think they haven't called the family yet. They haven't called his parents. They were like, what are his parents' names? They're asking me.
How about the rabbi?
Oh, that's a really good idea.
How about the rabbi?
Can you ask them?
Yeah, we'll do that right now.
So there's no rabbi at Shomri, but Rabbi Schneyer, that's really his name. He, him or Jack Rumberg.
They need to go.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. Yes. Especially if he's not going to make it, so that they
He needs to
can.
be blessed.
If
My
they can.
God, he needs a blessing.
Okay, yeah, thank you so much for being here. I was sitting in this room by myself, losing my mind. I was at lunch with Janine and Ritu. I don't know if you know them, friends of mine, and these officers walk in. And I just I ate a lunch. Like, I had a whole delicious lunch. And they're like, are you Wendi? We need to speak with you. And I was like, oh my God, are the boys okay? Like, and they were like, the boys are fine. And then I thought, oh my God, like,
What's
what's
not
going on?
fine?
Like, who's finding me here? And they wouldn't tell me. And so he said, I need you to get in the car. And so he drove me.
I don't know. Was it kind of weird how she was like, I had a whole delicious lunch? Let's just throw in extra adjectives in here.
And I started I just was like, what's going on? And they're like,
The kids are still at daycare being picked up.
And they're like, ex-husband? So they didn't have the
Well, I mean, how do they know? They're just starting this.
so they thought we were still married, and so I was telling him everything, and then I was thinking, oh my God, now they probably think I'm a suspect. I should.
But of course you're a suspect, and you're a smart suspect. You should be the suspect.
Is she a smart suspect, Jane? Is she?
But I mean, you're not gonna get framed for a crime,
Right.
and it is in your absolute interest to, in every way,
Tell them
everything, because to the extent that if they don't know whoever did, if this goes unsolved, that's
so
the worst
scared
thing for
of
your
so
boys.
many things, Jane. Like, do you think whoever did this is going to come after the kids?
I'm very worried about that, and I think
I don't know, because I feel like her asking. I feel like her asking about, like, oh, do you think they're going to come after the kids? I feel like it's so performative, because if you really have an inkling that could happen, or if you're even entertaining that, you would get the fuck out of there and you would go to the fucking kids. Like, I don't care what law enforcement is saying. I don't care if they're saying, they're like, oh, don't worry, they're at the daycare. Oh, they're safe. Oh, it's okay. No, I would fucking go there and get my own goddamn kids. I don't know. I'm trying so hard to look at the perspective where Wendi is not involved in this, but I don't know.
I want to be left alone in that house. I want protection. I'm scared.
I could be biased brain.
I don't know who this is. I don't.
Okay. Well, I mean, you should maybe go and stay. I think you should go stay. Can you go to Lynn and David's?
Alan, yeah. Yeah.
You
they
should.
have lots of bedrooms. I could just.
You
stay
should.
there
I mean,
for a
the
little
boys
bit.
are there.
Yeah.
And
I need to pick up a few
They
things.
need-
I would need my contact lens case.
just go there. I mean,
I'm really glad you're here. I am losing my shit.
I wish they'd come back.
This is. They keep doing this, or they leave for long periods of time, and it's 5:30 already.
Mhm.
I've been here for a while. I didn't know if
Oh, is that why she made fun of his name, Schneier or something?
I don't know. Are you looking to see if there's more info?
no, I
online?
haven't had this from Danny. From Kara. So I called her.
I talked to Kara yesterday. I was taking a walk around 5. I met a new friend last night, a friend of a friend, this girl Malia. We went to Tallahassee food trucks
Wow.
last night, hung out with her for hours. Are you telling her?
Yeah. Because she also Googled. And she said, oh my God, there was a shooting, do you know? So both she and John Googled.
Why would they Google? Why would that just come up?
I mean, I said to both of them, I'm going to the department. They were the people I said, I'm going to. John was there when I got John got the call from the police officer. So I'm in the car. I'm like, I'm calling Kara.
Yeah.
I'm on my way to the police officer.
Well, I would have called you in, Kara, but Kara's in Portland.
Right.
I'm really glad you're here.
So I just came. No worries. And so I'm just saying to her that Danny's been shot and it's serious. Until I know that I can't quite take it, and that's the.
Do you think you're allowed to leave the room? Can you? Oh,
yeah, they're coming.
And just wanted to let you know that Lynn just came.
Oh, good.
Just got the car seats in, and she's headed out.
So we have a real concern. Would it be possible for a rabbi to be sent to the hospital?
Okay.
So Danny's very religious.
I don't know if he's even alive. But
Okay.
We're just really struggling with the idea that he's there alone.
Okay.
He's very religious.
Okay.
Extremely.
And I'm sorry to think of this earlier, but I can give you the names of the 2 rabbis in town, and I think they should be called.
Okay.
And at least he's not, because his family isn't, like, nobody's there with him.
Yeah.
If Sarah, can you write down these names?
I think if they could go.
His first name is Schnoyer, Schnoyer.
So I'm just Googling Rabbi Tallahassee. And
I'll see what I can find. If you'll tear that out for me, and I'll see what I can find.
Thank you.
But Lynn is here. The car seats are in. I've spoken to the preschool. I changed the name. They were fine with that.
Preschool knows that.
Lynn is coming.
Okay.
Yes, I've spoken with them after you spoke with them and told them she was coming. They were fine.
Okay. Do they know what's going on?
I don't know. The investigator, made contact, so I don't know what all they know. But we spoke with Lynn and said,
She's going to take him to the house.
Yep, and
They
said
know what's going on.
we explained to her he is severely injured. He may, probably will not make it. But
he knows not to. They don't touch.
correct.
So they're just going to pick him up, say, "Mommy's in a meeting." Mom's busy."
Time for McDonald's. Auntie Lynn's picking you up. And then I have her, cell phone number because I knew you didn't have your phone right then. We'll get that back to you here shortly, hopefully.
Okay.
And I told her that you would call her and probably go straight to the house, whether it.
Oh yeah, does anyone have a video of that? Of her speaking at her son's bar mitzvah? Also, who recorded that? Isn't that supposed to be only like close family members and friends? Yo, someone recorded that?
Us taking you there, Jane taking you there, whatever, however
Does the
you
car
need
need
to
to
get there.
stay here?
I don't think so.
Did I gave them the keys?
Yeah,
right?
they have the keys because I got the car seats out.
Okay.
But yeah, all that should be done. Unfortunately, just everything's timed.
Oh, is this it?
Years have passed since Abba and I imagined. Years have passed since Abba and I imagined what this day would be like for you and for us as a family. I know that if Abba were here today, that he would be so very proud of you.
Shut up, bitch!
Do we have like the full footage of this? Oh my goodness.
Okay.
It's as simple as that.
I'll throw you under the bus.
Okay, I'm used to that.
Okay.
Oh wait, fuck, where am I? Ah!
Consuming. So that's, kind of while we're waiting on.
Okay.
Let me see what I can.
We need that, and that's just.
What? The synagogue lives? What? Why? They live streamed it? If I was her, I'd be like, you are not live streaming this. The whole world is shitting on me. You better take that down.
Okay, absolutely.
really
And it's Jack Romberg and Rabbi.
You can call him like Oyrickman. Oyrickman.
Or Rickman. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see what we can do.
Thank you for thinking of that.
I spelled bar
I did tell him
mitzvah.
it's your ice cream.
Mitzvah.
Yeah.
And is there a bathroom that I could use?
Yes.
I have similar urgency need. Let me swipe my hands before they let me sit down there.
I don't know.
I'm gonna go to your left. And then kind of in that little.
I don't know that his family knows yet. Did they get that
We're
information?
working on that now. What we do usually as a law enforcement agency, we don't like to tell people that over the phone if we can try to avoid it, just because it's kind of shocking news. And we usually
So can you tell
What we're
law
trying-
enforcement there to go to the
correct.
house?
That's what we're trying to do now.
Is that better? Yes.
Yeah, because we don't know, especially people's conditions and how they're going to react. So if someone gets so upset that they have a heart attack or something, we want not to be on the phone.
It's better to have a human.
Mhm.
But they're working on that now.
Yes.
Well, maybe she knew it was going to be live streaming. She just wanted to look good,
So it's an actual fact that he's not going to survive these injuries.
That's what General Isom?
Yeah, that's what he.
He's not General.
Whatever. Phone crashes sometimes. That's okay.
I was just like in the car with him. I'm like, what is your name? What do I do? I saw that one from.
Oh, yeah. And then also, was Dan's family invited to the bar mitzvah? Does anyone know? Probably not. Were they?
Kara, if you need to call her, you can. You're not being held hostage here. Just tell her.
So what we're in the process right now, and to do that, generally we have to.
They were not.
Telegraph that we sent to the other agency, kind of give them
Sure,
information.
right.
It's very old school. It's when we started working here.
I know that it's not like.
I don't know, man. I just feel like everything about her is just like very fake. It's so, because the other things about Wendi as well. After the murders happened, she moved from Tallahassee and went to like Miami where her parents were, like within like what 2-3 days, and then she never came back ever again. Like she got they finally got what they wanted, and then she wouldn't really let her kids see Dan Markell's family at some point. I think they said the last time they saw them, at least when I saw the interview, it was like back in 2016 or something. I don't know. It's just a lot of things that they did. It just feels like, I don't know, man. Something is up. Something is up.
well, I don't know what's happening right now, but like as a little bit ago, it wasn't definitive. Do they want to wait until it's definitive?
Well,
Or do they want him to like?
that's what it
They
sounds
want
pretty
to get in contact with them because I think some decisions need to be made, and because they're his parents, they would be his next
Next
of
of
kin.
kin.
Yeah.
So he's still alive, but he's maybe on life support or something.
I don't know
You
the
don't
medical
know.
terms around it, but it's from what Investor Eisen was telling her, it does not look
He was shot in the head,
from what was Investor Eisen.
I said that and he didn't answer it.
so it's just he was very badly
Shot.
shot multiple times, maybe badly.
When I think he did say that there was trauma to his face. And
Because
that's
I
when
was
you were
saying I
asking
wanted
about showing the
kids.
boy.
I wanted the kids
Yes, you
to be with him,
can't.
but not if he
Yeah.
looks scary.
And not if he's, I mean, there's nothing to be.
I know. I just thought he might be like.
No, I
but
know,
I got
but,
the
like,
feeling
he
he
got
might be a
shot
little
in
bit
the leg.
alive.
Right,
And if he's a little bit alive, I wanted him to like touch
Be
the
able to
kids
see
one
the
more
children, right?
time.
But he's apparently beyond that. Like he probably hasn't
From
regained
what Investor Eisen
consciousness.
said, correct, yes. I don't,
He's
from
been,
what he was saying, I
he
wouldn't
was
take
found
it.
in a really dreadful state, and he has not come out of any kind of. He ended that phase. Oh, what Lord! Have you called your parents, darling?
No, after I like we're just
Did she call her parents?
they have
I don't see. They have her phone.
But
Yeah, but
I
I
don't
don't
know
know
their number.
I do know my family's number.
I don't
Know the answer?
know. I don't want to say yes. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm
But
gonna go to the bathroom and come back. Do you need to like?
Oh God, is this when she calls Donna? Because when she calls Donna, it's just like, oh God, it's so
my
bad.
suspect, you need to like.
no,
watch me.
no, I don't need to watch you.
Okay, I'll be back.
What I'll do too is I'll just check and see if you can call your
Yeah.
parents. Okay.
Yeah.
Again, I don't see any issue with it.
I just think they're gonna want to come up.
Well, and you're going to want them here.
Yeah.
So they
I
need
want
to
them-
they need to get in the car right now, and they need to come up. Yes, that's what needs to happen because they can stay with you at your house,
And they can
we
help me
can
with the
we can
boys.
try to figure out if you're safe to be in the house.
Yeah.
Hey, it's me. So I'm just updating you. Danny is expected to die. Gunshot wounds. Don't tell anybody else. Just keep it to yourself. But I know that you're.
All right, when does Wendy come back?
Yeah, no, he's right. No, he's Wendy. Of course, I imagine she will. I mean, she's been in a. I mean, Danny's a jealous guy. Jeff is a jealous
Okay.
guy.
All right.
That that as a social worker, that that would
Okay,
be
well, let me ask you this. Jeff is the new guy, why would he do it?
just because this is something I wouldn't say in front of Wendy.
Okay.
I thought you said something I wouldn't say. I'm like,
No,
I'm right here.
that, as doing the kind of work I do, I would think, there's this person, and then he loves Wendy. Danny makes Wendy's life very difficult. Wendy is currently making his life very difficult. I don't know him to be a lunatic, but he's a jealous guy.
Okay. All right.
That's what I would say. He's my colleague, so
I feel like that just doesn't make sense. Like, why would Jeff be jealous of Dan when Wendy and Dan hate each other? I don't know. It's such a weird angle. Unless it's like, oh, hey, I did it for you, Wendy. I got rid of the person that's the bane of your existence. But then why would he do that? Because if he killed Dan Markell, what the fuck is Wendy going to do? Wendy has no ties to Tallahassee anymore. She's going to move to Miami.
he's somebody I think of as a decent guy.
That would be who now?
Jeff Lacoste is my colleague.
Okay. All right.
Are you leaving? Yes, I'm being kicked out.
Oh.
Really? But I can come get you if you need me.
Okay.
Okay? So if you can't drive.
Oh, they live streamed because it was a ceremony for a group of boys, not just Lincoln. Oh, okay. I don't know anything about bar mitzvahs. I thought it was just like bar mitzvah is like a party, which is like one person. And then, yeah, I know it was like a bunch of like kids also turning. It was like 13, right? When you turn 13?
It's no problem.
What's your number, James? So I can give you a call.
321-4657. I'm happy to come get you. You need to talk to these guys.
Can you make sure someone goes to see Danny? I guess they're gonna do
You're
that.
gonna
That's
do
not
that,
your
right?
job.
You're gonna make sure that there's
I know Sergeant Baldwin, when I was out there, I've been talking to her when
it's
she was
really
there,
critical
working on that.
that he be blessed today. It's
Oh,
absolutely
okay,
critical
gotcha.
that he see that a rabbi go there. Absolutely critical.
Right.
All
Okay,
right,
bye. Thank you for coming.
okay. I am available to you. I'm going now, but
Yeah.
this is the process, and you're going to move through it. Okay. Thanks very much. And these guys are very generous letting me come in here at all. So thanks very much for
You're
being
welcome.
here.
I'll be back.
I think he'll just ask you some more questions, and they just need to, they don't. And sometimes, friends and family try to help, but sometimes they can
No, it was good that
tell their side. And that was good.
All right, let's talk shit about Jane McPherson now.
Sorry, it's so cold in here, and I was irresponsible to not bring a jacket.
I'm not sure if it's cold in here. I was like shaking from the moment the officers came into the restaurant and were like not
Right, that's
telling
not
me
a
what was
normal
going on.
situation.
And so I didn't know what it was. I knew it wasn't good. And so I feel like my body started shaking a few hours ago. I don't know if I'm actually cold, but thank you for the jacket.
Well, it's generally, I don't have goosebumps yet, but usually I get goosebumps in this room, so it might be warmer than normal, but I think nerves. And then they said that they should be on your phone very soon too, and then that's when.
Will they just sort of, can I get an update from I just want to make sure the kids are not freaking out. I don't know what Lynn told them, and I trust her very much, but is there any way to just get an update on my kids to make sure I know they're okay, they're in good hands, but I don't know. I mean, just to make sure they're not being told
too much information at once.
Yeah, or just like, where's mommy? I would like them to say like, mommy's at a work meeting or something.
Right, okay.
Like just something that the kids would understand. Like sometimes mommy's at work, so they get the idea of like,
Okay.
I mean, they would wonder why is mommy at work at this hour, but something.
Let me check on that, okay?
I'm not trying to create more work for you.
You're not creating more. This is kind of what I'm here for right now. Exactly what I'm here for, okay?
Yeah.
Yo, she said she was already shaking when she saw them at the restaurant. She loves the victim role. Will play it to the end, in your opinion? When they become adults, you really have to process a lot. Yeah, it's gonna be a huge mindfuck, man. I hope they're able to connect with like Dan Markell's like side of the family too.
Sitting in this room by myself right now is like a form of torture.
I'm sorry. I know. I keep leaving you. I don't want to. But Joanna has been in here, the female. She is just getting back. She's our special victims investigator, which means she does all the child and sexual assault and those types of crimes.
Yeah.
And she spoke to Lynn, and Lynn's very well aware that
Mine also has an MSW.
everyone does. It seems like sometimes. So very aware that they don't know what's going on, not to disclose anything
Yeah.
overly.
But Lynn knows.
I don't know what Joanna's. I mean, Lynn knows something's up and something's wrong, and I'm sure Lynn and like everyone else needs to do nowadays probably Googled or look at the news.
Yeah.
So, and I think she does know it involves obviously being.
Because I'm here and I seem to be okay.
And then also she they did get in touch
With the rabbi?
with one of the rabbis, yes. So
over there?
I believe so, yes.
Great.
And then if nothing else, even the hospital usually has.
Hi.
That's his cell phone number.
Okay.
I spoke with him, and he's going up there.
Good.
I spoke with the hospital, and they have already had somebody come by. They've already had a rabbi come by.
Really?
Because they have chaplains. They have chaplains of all different denominations.
Just on call.
Mhm.
There's not a lot of Jews in town.
I don't know, but he is going,
Thank God.
and that's his cell phone.
Okay.
I told him you would probably touch base and reach out to him
Hi, Chunky.
Honestly,
whenever.
We love it when they yap without a lawyer. We love it.
I don't really have a great relationship with him.
Okay.
So he's not really who I want to talk to right
That's
now. I
fine.
just want to make sure he's
The
giving
other
Danny
rabbi
what
that you
he
gave
needs.
me is out of town.
I have a great relationship with him.
Okay, yeah, he's on his voicemail. It said he's out of town
It's on
until.
Facebook. He's with his grandkids.
Yeah, so would be in and out. He was like, "Is there anybody else in the community I need to reach out to?" I said, "As of right now, so."
Take out his number to give to his parents in case they.
Yeah, have them. They would probably want to talk to the rabbi. So,
Why
I'm glad- I'm
Meghan?
really glad he's going over there. I can't talk to him.
Oh, Meghan Markle?
And that's fine. And I mean, he asked about you and asked if there was anything you needed. And okay, so, and I said, well, and they have her, if she wants to reach out. And he's like, absolutely, anything, that's needed. So,
Oh my God. Thank you.
no problem. And don't worry, Lynn, we spoke. She knows the children don't know what's going on.
And she knows.
She knows that he was seriously injured, and that.
Did she seem okay? Like she and Alan? Are they
No,
together?
I talked with Alan.
Uh-huh.
She was out when I got him.
Okay.
Apparently, he just does not answer his cell phone. He's like, "Let me give you my cell phone." I was like, "I called it twice." So she was out somewhere. She wasn't at home when I got a hold of him.
Okay.
So he said, "Let me call her. I'll have her come." So she came by herself, but she had talked to him. She was fine, cool as a cucumber.
Okay.
She's, and just for time's sake, I knew Jane was up here with you. I was going to bring her up, but it was
No,
at 5:30 getting her out to get the kids,
Yeah,
and she
yeah.
knows the kids don't know anything, and it was going to be, mom's running late. Aunt Lynn, it's McDonald's time, whatever the case may be.
That sounds great.
All right.
Thank you.
No, no problem. I'm sorry, my face is so red. I told her I was laughing because
I know
and
it's
y'all
there.
back it up.
I meant to
No,
in the car
please.
this week. No, I'm glad I didn't because it would look like I was trying to arrest a crime scene.
Well, and the funny thing was that we said, I don't know which car seat goes to which. And when we were walking up, I said, okay, I have the left, you have the right. And then we sat him down, and she and I picked him up, and I went, I don't remember
one
which
kid
one
is
was
short
which.
and chunky, and one kid is long and skinny.
So when they get in and it doesn't fit, they'll have to figure it out.
They'll figure it out.
Because as we were walking out, I was like, I don't remember which one was which.
Lynn is really.
I'll let him know.
Sorry, I know it's a lot of running around and.
I want to talk to my parents. Get them up here.
And I told him that, and he said it's going to be relatively soon that you get your phone back. I don't know.
Oh, she's gonna call Dada.
Want to use someone else's phone?
I don't. Yeah, do you know the number? Let me go ask again and just be like, can she just call?
Yeah. Do you have a phone, right?
Cell phone.
I could borrow a phone.
Oh, dude. Calling Dana? I think we can sort of hear Donna in the background.
Wait, 6,800. 22.
8,200.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Same here. I'm just going through. These are phone calls that you made.
Yeah.
Charlie's your brother?
Yeah. Well, they didn't call any weird sex hotlines or anything this morning.
That's okay. We've seen that
Really
before.
embarrassing.
That's all right.
Wait, what about the weird sex hotlines? What? Why did she bring up weird sex hotlines? Did you guys catch that?
Well, I didn't call any like weird sex hotlines or anything this morning.
That's okay. We've seen that
Really
before.
embarrassing.
That's all right. You checked your voicemail yet?
Oh.
Or no, you
Why would
checked.
it be a 305 number?
No.
Um,
Your number. Isn't that you?
Yeah, that's
Cindy?
me.
Okay, I called this number.
Okay. That says voicemail.
Right.
Okay. I
I
guess
don't know
it's
what
voice.
that means, but I'm just basically going over this with you to see if you can clear up anything. And of course, this is Charlie, your brother.
Yeah.
Your brother. Michelle Turner.
A friend of mine who lives in Colorado. Renee. Renee's the one that used to be the victim advocate. Renee is a very close friend of mine that is interviewing at FSU today for a position and leaving at 7:30. And if there was ever a woman I would really like to get a hug from, it's Renee, but I don't want to bother her on her.
Okay, who asked?
Rita Hinden.
That's the mother of my friend Tova Nugent. Can you write? Oh, she's going to text me. Never mind. It's weird. So why would Jimmy need to talk to me? He's my lawyer for the divorce case. This is Lincoln from last week.
Cute, very pretty hair. Very serious in that picture.
It's so cute. I just am curious, like, what's coming in. Right now it looks like a whole bunch of nothing. No one's writing me yet.
I didn't know earlier, but apparently you got a guy in your life named Jeff.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me about Jeff.
I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to hide anything.
No, I know you weren't.
I just didn't.
All right, we'll save this for a different day. Wait, let's see what else. Yeah, she is such a very I think what she's trying to do, and she's trying really hard at it, is she just feels really uncomfortable. And her saying things like this just relieves the uncomfortableness. Oh boy. Okay. We have a little bit more to go. We'll save this for a different day. I thought the Donna call was going to happen today, but it's going to happen next time then. Dude, when she calls Donna, I don't know, man. I think it was just so fake. Like, I mean, Donna's reaction at least. Like, dude, we could hear a little bit of Donna. A little bit. So we'll have to get to that a different day. Oh, I thought it was today. Oh, look at this guy. He's so cute. Wendy's the type to say, I have a secret that I can't tell anyone that prefers to tell everyone about the secret. Listen, I used to have friends like that, okay? I would have friends that would be like, oh my God, I found out something so big, but I can't tell you. But oh my God, it's so huge. And it kind of has to do with you, and it has to do with like, you know, like Janice, but I can't say anything. Oh, but then like if Janice found out that I know about this, like I would get really in trouble. And like, you know, the type of person that like at the end of the day, they just want you to ask, oh, what is it? Just tell me. And they're like, okay, fine. I'll spill the beans to you. I used to have like friends like that. I'm like, I like torture them even more. I'm just like, oh, really? Oh, okay. Like I just act like I'm not interested. Oh boy. Yeah. Wendi Adelson, hot mess. We are almost done with her interrogation. We have part 1 already uploaded on the YouTube channel, and I'm sorry the audio and video is not synced, but we have it now synced on Deep Dive True Crime. So make sure you guys go like their stream as well, or not their stream, their videos as well. And yeah, very cool. Oh, that's your puppy Lola. Oh, I had a doggy named Stevie. Now I want a bowl of pho. Let's get some pho. Let's get some pho. That sounds good.